Get ready to dive deep into the world of Kenyan music. Today we're celebrating someone truly special, Teddy Kalanda Harrison. Now, I know you love music and exploring new cultures, so get ready to go way beyond the typical playlist. We're talking about a man who didn't just make music, he shaped the sound of a nation. We're going to be celebrating the founder of the iconic band, Them Mushrooms, who sadly passed away recently at 72 after a battle with cancer. A tough fight for sure, but his music, his influence, that's forever. And while Jambo Bwana might be the tune you think of first, trust me, there's a whole lot more to discover about his musical journey.
You see, Teddy Kalanda Harrison, he came onto the scene in 1972 at this really interesting time in Kenya. Musically, things were just bubbling. You had these traditional genres like folk, Taarab, Sega with all its energy, all kind of mixing and mingling.
Oh, okay, I see. So we've got this vibrant musical landscape, then in walks Teddy with the Mushrooms.
Yeah.
What did they bring to the party?
They brought this fresh sound, something truly Kenyan, yet it had this undeniable global appeal. Audiences were captivated. It was this blend of the traditional Kenyan sounds with, some reggae influences. They weren't afraid to experiment.
And speaking of captivating audiences, we got to talk about Jambo Bwana. This wasn't just a hit. This song went global. It's amazing to think that even before Hakuna Matata came along, this song was putting Kenya on the map, musically speaking at least. People heard this song, and they were ready to book a trip, and then bam, the German group Boney M covered it, and that launched the song into a whole other level of fame.
Absolutely. Talk about the power of music, right? Especially back then, before the internet, before we were all so connected. Jambo Bwana became like this sonic postcard of Kenyan culture.
It really makes you think about the impact of just one song. But of course, Them Mushrooms weren't a one-hit wonder. They had a whole catalog of incredible music. Mombasa Tena, for example, have you heard that one?
Mombasa Tena is such a great example of how Harrison could bring in those benga music elements, that driving rhythm guitar.
And of course, always that touch of Swahili flavor. It's different than Jambo Bwana, more subtle maybe in how he blends genres, but just as captivating. It's incredible how they could have a global anthem like Jambo Bwana and then create something so different like Mombasa Tena. Shows their range, for sure. But what makes Teddy's story even more special is that this was a family affair. When Teddy got sick, his son stepped in to play with the band. I mean, wow, talk about dedication, not just to the music, but to each other.
Oh, absolutely. The Harrison family, they really highlight how important family is in Kenyan music. You could even say in Kenyan culture as a whole, really. Music is woven into their lives, passed down through generations. But it wasn't just about keeping traditions alive, it was about evolution. Think about it. The Mushrooms have been around for over 50 years. They've adapted, they've evolved, but they've always stayed relevant. That says a lot about them, about their ability to connect with people.
And, their reach, it went way beyond Kenya. We're talking global tributes, people like Kando, Bongo Man, Sam Mangwana, huge names in music, talking about how much Teddy and Them Mushrooms influenced them. That's a powerful legacy. One tribute, though, really got to me. Joyce Nyaro, she's a Kenyan cultural commentator, and she said, and I'm quoting here, "Rest in power, Teddy Kalanda. You blazed the trail and kept the fire burning."
Wow. He didn't just make music, he inspired people, He made people proud of Kenyan culture.
He really did.
So, after all this, if there's one thing I want you to take away from today, it's this. Go listen to Them Mushrooms. And I don't just mean Jambo Bwana, although that's a great song. But go deeper. Explore their whole catalog.
Yeah, there's so much to discover. Let Teddy's music take you on a journey. Discover the real depth of his musical legacy. And here's something to think about, okay? Imagine Jambo Bwana being released today, right now, in our world of, Spotify and Apple Music, all these different genres. Do you think, knowing what we know now about how music traveled back then, do you think it could still be this global phenomenon? Could it break through all the noise, all the different genres, and still connect with people around the world the same way? It's a tough question, but it's something to think about. Thanks for joining us for another Deep Dive, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring. Keep those playlists interesting.